This video will show you how to stop fearing that the love you have will end. This ends up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy for so many people because they sabotage the energy by always fearing that the love is going to go away. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to change the energy from the inside out, how to stop fearing the end, and how to start feeling comfortable with receiving love continuously. Now, let's even look at what beliefs would have to be active for this to actually be the case. Because I will say from experience that I have been somebody that was always looking for the problem. I was looking for and giving meaning to other people I was dating, that if they put their attention somewhere else, I would assume, oh, this is going to end. They're putting their attention somewhere else because they're thinking of somebody else. And what ends up happening is needy energy is put out, and it's like they feel that needy energy, and then they are repelled. Now remember, the key to having magnetic energy is to have non-neediness, to be not needy. The degree to which you are not needy is the degree to which you have attractive energy. The degree to which you have needy energy active inside of your body is the degree to which you are actually repelling love. Now let's look at what neediness is and how that relates to the fear that something's going to end. Neediness is when you look to something outside of yourself and you make that thing more important than yourself. So if you're in a love relationship and you say, this person has the love that I crave, and they are the source of my own happiness. Now, what is actually happening as a child, there were inner child needs that weren't met. So as a kid, maybe you had a mom or dad that was physically or emotionally unavailable, and what ended up happening is there was a belief that was wired in. There was a meaning that was given that said there's something wrong with me, and I must tune to other people in order to get my needs met. I must be appropriate. I must be like a certain way. And what ends up happening is in relationships, then years later, maybe 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years later, there's a feeling that still is there that says, I'm not good enough. I must overcompensate by being a people pleaser or by really wanting or needing someone else to be a certain way, and then the energy gets all messed up. The energy comes off as needy. Now, when you look at the childhood stuff, because I'd say a good percentage of the time, like 90% of the time that I've noticed at least, is most people that have these kind of things that they're working with now in their life, it stemmed from something that happened that became familiarized earlier on in life, and normally in childhood. Now, there's in a way, a familiar energy dynamic that's going on. Now, here's the thing, and here's the kicker with this whole fearing that the end will come. And let me ask you this question. Growing up, were your parents unconditional or conditional with their love? Did they give love and then take away love at some point? Did they show up and then all of a sudden pull their energy back, leaving you wondering, why is mom and dad not showing up? Because I would say when you look at this also, when it comes to the attachment styles, you have a secure attachment style. There's 3 different attachment styles. There's secure attachment, which means growing up, your parents consistently, normally it means growing up, your parents consistently were present with you and you're able to give and receive love equally and easily. There's still challenges in relationships, but that is one of the like the side effects. So these people tend to be in relationships, and it's a the healthiest version of the attachment style. Then you have anxious attachment. Anxious attachment are people that lean in for love. People that a lot of times feel like they have to abandon themselves to make other people happy, and it's where somebody seeks the validation, the approval, and the love from somebody else. So it's like in a way they believe the love is external to themselves. That's anxious. Then avoidant is the third one. Avoidant is where you keep love at an arm's length. It's where at a certain point in your past, you felt like you couldn't trust love, where normally what happened is mom or dad or somebody in your family broke trust with you and you said, this is not safe. A lot of times it could be a parent cheating on the other parent. And then a meaning that's given, it says, once again, there's something wrong with me, but it's not safe to be intimate. It's not safe to be close. Sometimes it's also a parent that's overly attentive and needy, and what ends up happening is that then the person says, love isn't safe, I must claim my own independence. Now, when it comes to fearing the end, a lot of times the anxious person will fear the end. The end, a lot of times for the avoidant, isn't the worst case scenario because the avoidant wants their own independence, and the independence isn't as scary to them, whereas the anxious person, they feel like they need it. At least that's the story they tell themselves. So what happens if somebody is fearing the end is there is a belief there that says, one, there's something wrong with me, I'm broken, and I'm going to try to prove my sense of self-worth through the external, through somebody else. That's normally the first belief that's active. The other belief that is active is that people tend to leave me. People come and they go, and they don't stick around. So let me ask you this. Did mom or dad stick around? Or did they emotionally or physically leave? Did they check out at a certain point? Because if that happened, there's maybe a childlike version of you that's back in your timeline in a way that's like, why did mom or dad leave? Sometimes even with no explanation. And then my guess is that then there may be some type of dynamic where maybe people like an ex or somebody left you with not much explanation. I've heard of that happening before, where people just get up and leave. And they're like, why did this person like barely even talk to me? And they just got up and left. And we were together for like a year or two or whatever. And it doesn't make sense. But sometimes you'll be able to see that back in childhood, there was a moment or something that happened. Even if you can't physically become aware of the actual experience where this happened, but a lot of times there's a belief there or a fear that somebody's just going to get up and go with no explanation at all. And sometimes maybe there is an explanation. Maybe the explanation is there's something wrong with you. So then they say, oh, there's something wrong with you. And then you're like, oh, there's something wrong with me. And maybe there was an explanation growing up. So the thing to become aware of with this is, what are the beliefs you have around people staying around? What are the beliefs you have around people leaving? What are the beliefs you have around you being worthy? Because what changed this all for me was I had to release the shame that I had that was built from childhood. And I had shame that I felt like I was emotionally abandoned as a kid, and there was something wrong with me. I know when my brother was born, when I was 3 years old, the attention shifted from me to my brother, who also had a lot of health complications as a baby. So like a lot of the attention went to him, and it was like I look back when I was like 3 or 4 years old. It's like, what was little Aaron thinking? But I can definitely tell that when the energy was shifted, I got quiet. My mom told me, like, you were really quiet after your brother was born. And I feel like part of the reason that was because I was internalizing, going inwards and saying, there's something, I felt like there was something wrong. I felt like the attention went all to my brother. And I think that's a common thing that happens in childhood. But then what I realized is I felt like I wasn't chosen. So then what happened is there was this belief and this feeling like I'm not chosen. And what happened is years later, up until a couple years ago, I would date women, and it was like I felt like I was trying to prove myself to them. A lot of times I would try to fix them, which means I'm implying they're broken, by the way, but I would I would overly compensate, like, oh, if I can fix this person and help them in any way and help them with their business and this and this and this, then they'll stick around with me, because who else would do that? So I would overcompensate. And then what would end up happening is there wouldn't be as much polarity there, because I'm overcompensating in this way. And it's like I'm going from instead of just being a boyfriend or someone that's, dating, to become like a coach or like a mom or a dad energetically. And it messes up the whole energy dynamic. So then what I realized is that if I was trying to prove to somebody that I was worthy and they weren't choosing me, I thought it was like this person, and there was a story that I had with the person and all of this. But then I realized that this story and this dynamic is so similar, and it actually stems even deeper from childhood. I was in a way fighting to prove myself so that I could close the loop from childhood. Because my worst fear was coming alive. The worst fear was I'm not good enough. I'm not being chosen. And then I was always sabotaging things because I was like looking for the shoe to drop. I was looking for things to end. I was looking for energy to be weird. I was looking for, it's like your beliefs are being projected out and the other person can almost feel what you're fearing, and then it almost influences them to act in that way. I remember times I can see that I was like, I would get afraid or fearful of somebody else. Let's say like somebody I was dating was like, oh, I'm going to go hang out with a friend. Instead of saying, okay, that's cool, and then like go and hang out with my friends or whatever, I'd be like, oh, what if that friend is like a guy she's dating? What if it's this? What if it's that? And all this fear comes up. Well, maybe she's going to leave me and blah, blah, blah. That's all the story that gets created because there is a fear and because there's also a belief in scarcity. There's a belief that, oh, if that happens, my happiness goes away. There's something wrong. When instead it'd be like, oh, if that happens and I find out about it, then I saved myself time because I don't want to be with someone that's cheating or I don't want to be with somebody that's like that. When you actually feel worthy and you feel like you deserve love, you won't put up with energy that is inconsistent or energy that even would leave you like that. It's almost like there's a certain level of your own self-awareness and your own self-love that you begin to tap into. So not fearing the end is really about becoming aware that in childhood or early on in life, there may have been some energy that was active where love was either conditional, meaning it was only given on certain conditions, and then it was also taken away with certain conditions. So then it creates anxiety in current relationships because it's like, when am I not going to be good enough? When am I going to do something wrong? When am I going to mess this up? And there's a belief there that emanates out needy energy. One of the most powerful things that I learned how to do and that you can learn how to do is how to release the shame and how to release the belief that you're broken and how to understand that you can, from the inside out, begin to live according to your own values and value vulnerability more than other people's approval. That was a game changer. I started to value opening up my heart because shame hides in the dark. The cure to shame is vulnerability, opening yourself, expressing the real you, and being able to like show that side of yourself and open up your heart. And as you do that, it shines light on these things. And another powerful thing you could do is if you're fearing the end with your partner, you could actually even mention to them, say, hey, I know that we're settled in and everything, but I just want you to know that sometimes these thoughts come up and these beliefs come up and these feelings come up where I fear that you're going to leave me. And it scares me. And I'm not sure what to do about it. And I'm processing these emotions and I'm going through it, and I just want you to know that I'm working on myself. That can be powerful because then the other person's going to see the humanness in you. The other person's going to see that, and they may help you. They may soothe you more often. They may be like, hey, there's nothing to worry about. I'm just going to hang out with my friends. I just need some time to myself. Instead of just saying, I'm going to go hang out with a friend. Why are you wondering? Don't worry about it. You see what I mean? It's like they can almost help soothe you a little bit to alleviate that fear, but really this is a self-belief thing. This is an identity thing of letting go of believing you're not worthy. And the way you let go of believing you're worthy, by the way, and the way you feel worthy is you let go of the belief you're not worthy. You become aware of where that came from. You let go of it. You observe it when it comes up instead of engage with it, and that changes absolutely everything. Now, one of the most powerful meditations I have is an inner child meditation where energetically you go to Kauai, Hawaii, and you heal your inner child. It's one of the most powerful meditations I have. It's completely free. All you got to do is go to aarondowdy.com/child because it's an inner child meditation. So aarondowdy.com/child, or hit the link in the description box below. One of the most powerful videos to watch after this is the 3 ways to become so irresistible that they never want to leave. This video is right here. Watch this video right meow. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 easy ways to get it so where you have irresistible energy so that people don't leave you. Once we let go of the belief that we are replaceable, a lot in our life begins to change. And in this video, I'm going to show